I'm a big fan of schedules and lists. But you have to have the right attitude towards a schedule and a list. So first of all, you make a list of what things that you have to do that day, what important things you have to do that day. But you want to remember that that list should serve your higher interests, right? Your higher values. So that presupposes that you've already decided what your higher values are and that you have a vision in place. Then you want to decompose that into what's necessary that day. Aim high, let's say, and then concentrate on the day. What are the most important things that I need to attend to so that I'm in better shape tonight than I was in the morning? And if you ask yourself that question, you have to want the answer, which is rather demanding, let's say. It's another example of orienting yourself properly. So your aim is to get the answer to this question. And your perceptions and your thoughts will organize themselves around that question, and you'll get answers. Like they'll rise up, in that mysterious way that thoughts rise up. And some of them you'll find uncomfortable because your mind will present you with demands to do things that you may have been avoiding or that you find difficult or challenging. But you can train yourself to set yourself a list of tasks for the day that do put you in better shape that night than you were in the morning. It doesn't help to shy away from difficult issues because you're stuck with them. They're not going away. The best you can do is something worthwhile in the face of them. And so you figure out what that worthwhile thing is, and then then you practice implementing. That gives you some character and some strength, and that's the sort of thing that can help transform you into a leader. What you do is actually important, and what you leave undone as well. Both of those things. Like each individual is more significant and has more impact than they think, for better or for worse. I mean, you can think about it this way, in your lifetime you're going to directly influence at least 1,000 people, and each of those 1,000 people will influence 1,000, and so that's 1,000,000 people, one person separated from you, and 1,000,000,000 people, two people separated from you. We live in a network, and we're really tightly associated with one another, and if you hold your head high and you confront the future courageously and you put your life together and you develop a integrated and valuable plan and you implement it and you're a trustworthy person, you have an unbelievably positive effect on everything around you. And so it actually matters that you do these things. And I don't believe that it really matters where in the formal power hierarchy you sit. Because you might think, well, I'm at the bottom of the power rungs, what influence do I have? And I think that's a bad way of thinking about it, because it doesn't take into account the network issue. And so if you don't want things to be worse, which you wouldn't if you were a sensible person, then it would probably be better to work hard to make them better, and to also understand that you are playing a determining role in how reality unfolds when you're doing so. It's not a trivial thing. People are far more powerful forces for good and evil than they believe. So, and I think that's more true, and I haven't come to that realization lightly. So you want to be a leader in the best sense, and a leader in the best sense is someone who makes things better and not worse. And if we all made things better, then they would be a lot better, and that would be a good thing. That's what we should be striving for.